we're going to go ahead and just start everything off with just a little poll. So on your screen, you should be seeing a poll come up with a couple questions. So the first question there is, what's your experience with Pitch4k? Are you a past participant, or have you seen any of the events before? Have you heard of it but not real sure what it's all about, or are you really wondering what this 4K is? So go ahead and take a second and take that poll and answer the question. You should see it on your screen there. And for those of you that have joined since, we're just doing a little poll here. Go ahead and answer those questions you see on the screen. The second one there is, what phase is your business idea in? And so either you've started bringing it to market, you're working on production, you've got plans, but maybe you need some funding, or possibly you're hoping for lightning to strike with a great idea. So just let us know kind of where your business is at and in the idea stage. Cool. Well, we've got two people that are wondering what fork is. So hopefully we'll be able to answer your questions tonight and give you a little more details as far as what the competition is all about and how we're helping entrepreneurs with their business ideas. So hopefully you'll learn a little bit more about that. I see we've got a couple people that have started bringing it to market, so that's great. And some people that just need some funding, and that's part of what we're here for as well. So glad to see that. So first, I guess we'll go ahead and end this. Go ahead and get started here. I guess just a few housekeeping things. So the first thing is we are recording this, so we will be able to send this out to you after the fact. You'll get this as a recording and be able to go back and watch it if need be. So watch your email for that coming out probably either tomorrow or Monday. So kind of the agenda for today is we're going to start off with just a video that kind of walks through past participants and kind of talks about their experience and tells you a little bit more about the actual competition. At which point Brandy's going to kind of just walk through some slides, give you some more details about the application and how to go about that and timing and all of that good stuff. We'll show you kind of all the benefits that the competition has, because while there is funding available, you can win some serious cash. There's also a lot of other benefits that come from it. You get paired up with a mentor, you get to go through 100K's binder process. There's all kinds of things that you get to do. So Brandy will walk through all that. We will take questions. Feel free to drop questions in the chat area at any point throughout the conversation. We'll answer those at the end, as well as you can drop those in at the end, and we'll get those answered. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So Brandy, if you want to go ahead and start that video to kick that off.
Pitch4k has helped me in so many invaluable and incredible ways. I told them when I first came, I have a book of ideas, but that's all I have is a book of ideas. But I was able to bring an idea to life, and they helped me to do that.
Pitch4k helped me with paying for my patent, and they also helped me with the binder with finding out if my idea was already out there on the market, and it wasn't.
Pitch4k has helped tremendously. They were a resource center for coming in, learning about your target market, helping with your research, also talking to you about how to brand your product. They were wonderful.
It's been a great opportunity for networking experiences. I've been able to meet other female founders, other business owners, and just to connect with other people with like-minded ideas and goals in the community.
Since the competition, I am now patent pending, and I flew to LA to attend a shoe surgeon school to create shoes, and I also got braces made through Oakland Orthopedics.
Since the competition, I have just been, looking to grow the company that originally was just for here in Michigan, but we're now in 6 other states, and eventually looking at doing more global work.
Since the competition, we've been working to increase our brand awareness for our online e-commerce store, and it's been a huge success. I would say we've definitely seen an increase in brand awareness for us because we've had people come up to us and say, hey, I think I saw your pitch on 100K Ideas, and I think it's super cool to be recognized in my city. So far from 100K Ideas, my favorite part about collaborating with other people in the industry has been being a mentor. I love being able to connect with my mentees and being able to help them through the pitch process and being able to see their businesses succeed from there.
The mentorship was wonderful. It could have been, like angels coming out of heaven.
There's a lot of benefits of working with a mentor. Honestly, they're kind of just like your second eye. You may go through in your presentation or your pitch or speech or whatever, you might be working so hard on it that you're just so focused and you just can't see it a different way. But that mentor might be able to help guide you.
So being a mentor has been very rewarding. And that's just in general, I enjoy mentoring because, too much is given, much is expected. And so to be able to have the opportunity to win the first place prize, I just thought it was important for me to also do the same. And be able to help others to be able to kind of realize their dream in their businesses. So it's been rewarding for me because I love learning about other people's businesses and then also seeing them actually take it to the next level and scale it. So
I want to say there's really nothing in it for them besides the fact that they want you to win. So they're taking the time out of their day to help you win.
If you ever have an idea and in your gut, you know that your product is worth investing in, do not sit on the fence. Get off the fence. Come in and talk with somebody. Even try the binder, the binder idea with 100K. If you're not sure you want to be a part of the competition, I would say try it because I did it 3 or 4 times and lost. And then finally I did win.
So here's the thing, with 100K, everybody here is so nice. They're so welcoming, so accommodating.
I've done pitch competitions before. And it's super nerve-wracking, and but these were people that were part of the community.
And so I would tell anybody, take the chance. What do you have to lose except success? That's the biggest thing you would have to lose. Whether you win or not, you get the exposure, and then you get an opportunity to try again. And so, but you gain experience, you gain knowledge, you gain so much understanding, things become so much more clear.
So I would say come in, talk to somebody, get out here. We need your ideas. I mean, we are in a crisis right now where this is the perfect time where out of something bad, something beautiful can be created.
Do it. Stay motivated and you're going to get it.
Don't discount yourself.
Come in, come in.
Well, I hope everyone enjoyed that video. So I'm Brandy Cook-Brown, Executive Director of 100K Ideas. And I'm just gonna go through a few slides, just kind of doing an overview of 100K, or not 100K Ideas, Pitch4k, and exactly what it is. And as I'm going, feel free, as Dean had mentioned, to drop some questions in the chat. He'll make sure that they get to me so we can make sure we answer them in the time that we have. So as you saw, those were a few of our past winners for the competition. We're actually going into our 3rd year, Pitch4k, which basically is exactly what it sounds like. It's a pitch competition that was designed to foster the entrepreneur mindset in Flint and Genesee County. And so really it's about creating a support system for people as they're trying to move their idea for a product, a business, a service, whatever it is, to move forward. And we thought this competition would be an amazing way to start that journey for a lot of people. The goals of the competition are pretty simple. One, it's providing residents of Genesee County an opportunity to pitch and earn capital, because obviously there's a cash prize associated with the competition, but it's also about expanding our participants' entrepreneurial network. We know that the stronger the network an individual has, the more likely they are to move forward and take their ideas to market. And that's what this competition provides that opportunity to do. So as you guys are all here and probably want to know, how do you enter? What makes you eligible to be a part of the competition? Well, the criteria is very straightforward. So we're looking for people who are 18 years or older, are a resident of Flint or Genesee County, as someone who may be selected as a participant, you must be willing to accept mentorship prior to and after the pitch event. So we want to make sure that that connection that you're developing with that mentor you're assigned during the competition is maintained, because that's how we know success happens. Also, those with an operating business, you must have less than 1 year of operations. And we'll go into a little bit more detail about that particular one, because that one does always get us questions. But the goal of this competition is truly about ideas. So those who are really early stage entrepreneurs and innovators are what we're looking to work with and empower through this competition. So that's why we have that 1 year of operations criteria there. And then lastly, you cannot have received a prize in a previous Pitch4k competition. So while we love having people back, we want to make sure the opportunity remains open to as many people as possible. So once you've won, unfortunately, we cannot have you come back and participate, but we'd love to have you back in some other form or fashion. All right, so to the process of the competition. So once you are, you submit your application to participate, we have a selection committee that will give us our top 7 people that will be selected to pitch at the actual event. And once you are selected to pitch, you'll be paired with a mentor. So this is someone who is in industry as a small business owner. Maybe they're a mentor for small businesses in another capacity. They've worked with small business development in some other form or fashion. And they've agreed to help us out by working with our participants to help prepare them for the competition. Also, in addition to having that mentor, you'll participate in a pitch clinic with the University of Michigan Flint's Economic Development Center. So one thing that we know, a lot of our participants, because they are so early stage entrepreneurs, the support we provide is incredibly important. So we try to make sure, especially since we know many probably haven't pitched before, that you get some practice. So we do have a great relationship with U of M Flint. They come in, they'll help you build out your pitch deck, go over how best to kind of navigate that, and they remain a resource for you throughout the competition process. Another component of the process is you'll actually go through 100K idea assessment process. So you'll be working with a project manager from 100K Ideas to help you flesh out your business that you're looking to develop. And from that, you'll be provided a research assessment binder that will help you also build your pitch deck as well. And then the last component that we have is there are a few rehearsals. So leading up to the competition, we are going to ask participants to be a part of a couple rehearsals and run-throughs of the competition, just to make sure we're all prepared and people feel comfortable the day of. All right. So next are some quick FAQs. So as I mentioned earlier, those who are eligible are those who are or have a year or less of an operating business. And so how we define operating is literally if you have started selling and have a registered LLC. So we're looking at kind of those measures as operating, because we do know a lot of people may actually be doing some things, but haven't actually really launched. So we kind of use a combination of those factors to determine, because we also know a lot of people may register their LLC, but not actually be operating as a business yet. So we do look at you selling. If you do have a registered LLC, we're looking at, at what point you start selling and are actively recruiting customers and growing business. So that's kind of our measure in that particular item. When and where is the event? So right now, because it's COVID, events are being taken place virtually, but we do hope to soon announce whether or not that will be the case for our upcoming competition in August. So we do have a flyer at the end to let you know more information about that, but we're looking at August for our first event, but we'll also have 2 additional options as well. So if you're like, hey, August is a little soon for me to kind of throw my hat in the ring, totally fine. There'll be 2 more opportunities throughout the year for you to participate. So be sure to make sure you are following us on social media handles and the website, which I'll show you that information soon, to know when those are happening. And how do you enter? You go to the Pitch4k website. And I'll also be scrolling that to the next side, but it's called the Pitch4k, the number 4.com. And that is where you will enter. So right on the main page, it'll literally have a button that says enter the competition. And that's where you'll fill out your application to be sent to our selection committee for consideration. So before I go to the contact and follow us, I went through a ton of information. So I want to take a quick breather and see if anybody had any questions.
Cool. Yeah. And there are a couple questions coming
All
in.
right.
While those come in, also we do have another poll, just real quick to get some feedback. And so if you could just kind of answer the questions on the screen that you see there. The first one is, what do you think that you would benefit most from in the Pitch4k competition? So the additional funding, the support from the mentors, making valuable connections through the process. Oftentimes we see the different pitch participants actually being able to work together and in different collaborations, or even just getting feedback on your idea. So tell us that, and then also tell us kind of where you're at as far as feeling about participating in this competition, whether you think you're definitely going to, or you're not sure, or somewhere in between. So go ahead and answer those. And yeah, as Brady was saying, we've got a couple questions that have come in. Feel free to continue to drop those into that chat window. If you don't see that, you should see within Zoom. Usually it's towards the bottom of your screen where there's a little chat icon. You can just click on that. It should pop up a window that you can put any questions in. So um, great. So looks like we've got kind of split between the funding, help from the mentors, and then the additional connections. So all great benefits of the competition for sure. So cool. So a couple questions that have come in. The first one is if they're partnering with somebody else. So if I think it's maybe a few people have an idea and they're kind of partnering together on it. Does one of them apply? Do all of them apply? How does that work?
Yep. So we would, in that situation, suggest only one of you submit the applications, because basically, if we see duplicates, one's getting pulled out. So we recommend you guys are more than welcome to work on the application together and collaborate on your answers and your submission. But we do recommend only one be submitted. And then also, if you are selected, only one person will be pitching. So just making sure you have that in mind.
Okay, great. Another question was, can I have won other entrepreneur contests? So I think they're referring to, not necessarily Pitch4k, but other contests that they may have participated in.
Yeah, absolutely. So participating in other competitions does not disqualify you from Pitch4k. So you're more than welcome to apply in that situation. But if you do come out a winner for Pitch4k, unfortunately, you will not be able to participate again. But again, that does make you eligible for any other competition. So kind of the same thing. Pitch4k doesn't disqualify you from participating in other potential opportunities as well.
Okay, great. So yeah, so if you've won before on a different competition, certainly apply. Another question was, how many people are actually accepted into the contest?
Yep. Yeah. So we actually select 7 finalists, and they will be the ones who are preparing to actually pitch. So anybody can submit, but only 7 will actually be selected. They're notified literally, usually like within a week of our submission deadline being closed. And from there, they're selected. And then that's when we start pairing people with mentors and getting you guys prepared for the pitch clinic. So only 7 spots available, but yeah, so again, we have multiple opportunities though to participate. So if you don't make it on the first one, that doesn't mean you can't apply again for a later date.
And think of it this way: there's 4 prizes. So there's first, second, third, and the People's Choice. So there's 4 prizes for 7 people. So you've got greater than a 50% shot at winning. So
100%.
Yeah, so certainly get those ideas in. Another question for the August competition: do we apply now or do we wait closer to the time? So this talking about maybe a little bit of timeline, and maybe want to kind of talk a little bit about when the application deadline is and stuff.
Yes, and actually that's funny because that's a question that I was going to address later on, but actually I'll kind of start scrolling through the next couple of slides and we'll answer your question there. Dean, I'm not sure if we had another question before that, but that one's definitely going to get addressed second, but I didn't want to just skip over a couple of things.
Sure. Yeah. Nope. That was actually the last one that's come in so far. So
perfect timing. All right. So before we go into application deadlines and items, I do want to kind of make sure you guys have our contact information. So if there are any questions about Pitch4k, obviously we talked about this being recorded, so you can always kind of rewatch this and go over the criteria. Also, our website, the pitch4k.com, at the very bottom there, is also has a ton of information about the competition. And there's also a contact box on that website as well. So you can send a message to us using that means. There's also our phone number. So that's a way to reach us. And this is actually 100K Ideas phone number. So if you Google us, this will be the one that pop up for you to reach us at. And then we're also on Instagram and Facebook. And we do regular updates on our social media handles to keep people informed of deadlines and things that are coming up. So as the question and all that you guys are waiting for, submissions actually open today. So we planned the information session and aligned it with our opening, and you have until June 4th to get your submission in. So if you are thinking about applying, you now have the open window to do so. And so the competition is going to take place August 5th. Stay tuned for location details as that's coming, but today you can apply today. So you can take a look on the website if you want to get a feel for the application. But if you guys are ready and prepared, feel free to go for it.
Cool. Yeah, so if there's any other questions, get those put in. We actually are right after this call, I am going to go online and launch the application so you can start applying. And yeah, you've got a little bit of time, but make sure you get those in by June 4th so that your application is considered to be part of the pitch. So with that, I don't see any other questions. We'll hang out for a minute or two here. If you have any, go ahead and drop them in. Otherwise, we look forward to seeing your idea. So thanks for joining, everyone.
Thank you. Dean, I did see a question hop in the chat just now that had asked, on average, how many apps do we get? So the last few competitions, we've averaged between about 45 to 50 applications for each competition. So a ton, but some of them unfortunately get weeded out kind of early just for not meeting those basic eligibility requirements. But for the most part, as long as you meet those basic pieces, we do forward you on to the selection committee. So 100K doesn't do any other filtering of the applications except just to make sure you meet that basic criteria. Sorry, I'm going to mute myself. We have a little background noise.
All right, sounds good. Well, I think that's about it. We'll go ahead and close out the webinar. And again, thanks for joining, and watch for that that recording coming out shortly. And look forward to seeing your ideas. So thanks again.